If your AI automations feel like a fragile house of cards ready to collapse, you're stuck in the automation trap. My name is GP. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are fixing the fatal flaw in how most businesses deploy AI. I'm going to show you the exact outcome-first framework to build systems that actually scale. Let's get into it. So if you've tried using AI in your business, you've probably hit a wall where it all feels, well, complicated, fragile, and honestly, a bit overwhelming. And there's a really good reason for that. Most people are approaching it completely backwards. Today, we're going to fix that. We're going to walk through a simple framework that flips this whole process on its head. So to really solve this, we've got to get to the root of the problem. It's a common pattern, and a lot of people call it the automation trap. You know, this quote right here just nails it. The typical way people go about this is they start with a shiny new tool. They start tinkering with prompts and they get excited about all the new features. But that right there, that's the exact reason why AI automation so often feels like a house of cards, you know? Just waiting for one little breeze to knock it all over. And this slide just lays it out so clearly. On the left, that's the common way, the backwards way. Pick a tool, write some prompts, and then cross your fingers and hope it works. But look at the right. That's the path we're talking about today, and it flips the script entirely. First, you define the outcome. Then, you break down the process, and only at the very end do you bring in a tool to systematize it. See, the problem isn't the AI and it's not your skills. It's just the order of operations. I mean, does that feeling resonate with you? Being completely overwhelmed by this endless parade of new tools and trying to patch together these fragile automations that break all the time? If it does, you're definitely not alone, and we're about to show you the way out. Okay, so let's get into the solution. The very first principle, the one that makes everything else just click into place, has absolutely nothing to do with technology. You have to start with the outcome. Before you even think about an AI tool, you have to ask yourself this question. What should actually be different in my business when this automation is working perfectly? And we're not talking about some numbers on a dashboard or metrics that look good. We're talking about real-world results. Do you want faster replies to your customers? Do you want fewer costly errors in your ordering process? Or maybe shorter cycles for making those key decisions? You have to get crystal clear on that first. And this leads us right into a classic trap that's explained by something called Goodhart's law. Basically, it says that when a measure becomes the target, it stops being a good measure. For instance, if you tell your support team that their only goal is to close as many tickets as possible, guess what they'll do? They'll close tickets like crazy, but your customers might not actually be happy at all. They're hitting the metric, but they're totally missing the real-world outcome. To put it in plain language, if you don't define that real-world outcome first, the system is going to optimize for the wrong thing. And let me tell you, AI is incredibly good at perfectly and efficiently optimizing for the wrong goal if you let it. And that's exactly why so many automations look super impressive, but don't actually move the needle for the business. Alright, so with that outcome-first mindset really locked in, let's walk through the simple 3-step framework that makes this a repeatable process you can use for anything. And here it is, just 3 steps. First, we deconstruct the process. Second, we do what's called a decision triage on that process. And third, and only then do we bring in a tool to systematize it inside an application. So let's break down exactly what each of these really means. Okay, step 1, process deconstruction. Now, this sounds way more complicated than it actually is. All it means is taking a process that's probably just living inside someone's head and making it visible, literally writing down the simple steps. And when you do this, you'll almost always find the same pattern pops up. An input comes in, a decision is made, an action is taken, and then you repeat. AI can't help you if the work is invisible. You have to see it first. Next up is step 2, decision triage. And this is so important. We are still not talking about AI yet. Before you ever try to automate something, you have to simplify it first. The goal here is to improve the actual process, not just to, strap a rocket engine to a broken cart. The first part of this triage is just asking a really simple question. Do all of these steps and decisions even need to be here? I mean, every business collects these legacy checks, these extra approval steps and manual things that maybe made sense 5 years ago but add zero value today. The biggest win you can get often comes from just getting rid of them entirely. So only after you've cleaned house do you move on to the second part of the triage, deciding which of the decisions that are left are actually a good fit for AI. And the rule of thumb here is super simple. Is the decision low risk and highly repetitive? Great, that's a perfect candidate for AI. But is it high stakes, something that doesn't happen often, or tied to real human responsibility? That needs to stay in human hands. And finally, we get to step 3. This is where we bring in the technology. We systematize in an app, and this is critical because let's be honest, real businesses don't run on a bunch of open chat windows. They run on systems. An app gives your process structure, it gives it rules, and it gives it consistency. It gives your automation a reliable home where it can run the same way every single time. Okay, enough theory. Let's make this framework really concrete. We're going to apply it to a real-world problem that costs pretty much every small business: forgotten follow-ups with potential customers. So let's apply step 1, deconstruction. Right now, this follow-up process is probably just chaos living inside someone's head or their messy inbox. But when we make it visible, we can see the steps. A message comes in, we have to understand what the person wants, we decide how to respond, and then we have to somehow remember to follow up. Just this simple act of writing it down transforms that invisible chaos into a clear process we can actually work on. And now for step 2, triage. We ask those simple questions. Does every single lead need a completely custom, handcrafted reply? No, of course not. That's super repetitive. Does every little reminder to follow up require human judgment? Clearly not. That's as low risk as it gets. By identifying these repetitive, low-risk tasks, we can instantly see where AI can step in and help, which frees up human attention for the high-stakes conversations that actually close the deals. See, when you follow this framework, it leads to way more than just better automations. It actually leads to a whole new mindset. It's just a much smarter, much more effective way to think about the role AI should play in your business. And this brings us to the main takeaway of this whole thing. Successful AI automation isn't about finding the coolest new tool. It's about having clear outcomes, visible processes, and making really smart, safe decisions about what to hand over to the machine. You build the system first, and only then do you apply the technology to it. AI is an incredibly powerful tool, but you apply it after you have business clarity, not before. So I'll leave you with this one question. Just for a moment, forget about all the tools, all the hype, and just ask yourself, what is the one single outcome in my business that if it changed would make the biggest difference? Start right there and you'll already be on the right path. That's all for today's video. Remember, AI will not fix a broken process, it just breaks it faster. You need business clarity before the tech. So what is the one messy process in your business you need to deconstruct right now? Let me know in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe for more advanced AI frameworks, and I'll see you in the next one.